Hey guys, Griffin Dobson here again, and today I want to talk about is a food scale really necessary for tracking your macros? Alright, so my honest opinion, it definitely is if you're trying to track your macros. Obviously, if you're not trying to track your macros, then you don't need to know the exact weight of things because you don't care because you're not tracking it. So it really doesn't matter if you're at that point. But if you are tracking your macros, a scale is completely necessary. Like, for example, let's just say let's take peanut butter because it's a high calorie, very calorically dense food, and it's got a lot of fat in it. And for most people's diets, their fat is a lot lower than their daily protein goals and their daily carbohydrate goals. So if you're not measuring, like, let's just say your serving is 32 grams, if you're not getting 32 grams on the dot, you're just kind of eyeballing what you think 32 grams will look like. You could be getting half the fat because you're getting half a serving, or you could be getting double it because you're getting double a serving of peanut butter. And at the end of the day, if you don't put that in your macros because you didn't know, you just thought you were having about a serving, you're going to be way over on your calorie and macro goals. And obviously, you're not going to get the results you seek, whether you're in a caloric deficit or even a surplus. If you're putting on, too much weight, obviously muscle doesn't grow that fast, so you're going to be putting on a lot of fat gain. So if you want, to get the best results, you want to know exactly what you're eating, you want to track everything you're eating, and you want to have it weighed out to a T. So like for me, I track everything I eat, and I weigh everything from like my cereal, especially. I have a serving of cereal. That's like my one little cheat for the day. I weigh out my veggies, I weigh out my proteins, my peanut butter, even my protein shakes. If you actually do a scoop and pour it in there, it's not usually exactly like 34 grams, like what an actual serving is. So I measure out that just to make sure I'm getting the exact amount of protein from that shake. So at the end of the day, obviously my goal is to hit my macros dead on. But if I go over like 4 grams of carbs, then I just supplement that out for like 2 grams of fat, so I'll just lower my fat 2 grams. So at the end of the day, I'm right around the same as I eat every time, like daily, unless my macros are raised, and I know exactly what I'm eating, and I'm gaining, slowly, and that's what you want. Now, if you didn't weigh your food and you were just kind of, tracking like what a serving would be like, what you think a serving would be, like I said before, you could be going over on your, daily calorie goal by 500 calories, or if you're under eating, you're getting less than a serving that you think you're getting, you could be lower than your calorie goals. And especially if you're in like a deficit or a cut, if you're trying to lower your macros slowly but you're not actually hitting your daily macros and you don't know what you're hitting, then you can't really judge off that of like what you're actually eating. So for me, very important to keep a scale. I have 2 of them in case like a battery dies on one or whatever. I always have another one ready to go. So, honest opinion, if you're tracking your macros, definitely weigh everything you eat and track it in MyFitnessPal or whatever app you have. If you're not trying to hit a daily macro goal, or you kind of just eat the same thing every day and then you kind of know about what that is and you just add maybe like a chicken breast to one of your meals every week or whatever just to raise your protein, whatever you do, that's fine as long as you know what you're eating. But if you are trying to get macro to macro, you need to weigh your food, and a food scale is completely necessary. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like me to talk about, put them in the comments below, or email me, or direct message me on Instagram. I'll have that all in my bio. And thank you guys.